Hello, and welcome to our presentation, Taking the First Step Towards Self-Care Through Mindfulness and Building a Positive Relationship with Yourself. My name is Kelsey Jeffers, and I'm an undergraduate advisor for the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences. I've been with Walden for a little over 4 years, and I worked in the Minneapolis office until March of this year. I now work remotely in Florida. I'm a member of the Community Building Committee, the AAAC or Academic Advisory Council. I'm a positive leadership agent and also a Project Happiness ambassador.
And I'm Sarah Rodenberg. I'm a student success advisor for the master's and graduate certificate level College of Education programs. I am here in the Minneapolis office, and I've been with Walden for 7 years now. I'm also a member of the Community Building Committee here in the Minneapolis office and the Academic Advisory Council, and I've actually chaired that committee now for the last 3 years.
So everyone can take some time to think about what their definition of self-care is.
And this might be for examples such as having a regular sleep routine. Maybe your self-care definition involves having a healthy diet. It could be something simple like making sure to take your regular lunch breaks, or something like going for a walk or taking your dog for a walk.
And we truly believe that there is not one definition for self-care, and that you can create your own definition that meets your needs through mindfulness and building a positive relationship with yourself. So just to give everyone some background of how we got to where we are today, Sarah and I are part of some organizations that allowed us to uniquely position ourselves to promote self-care as our commitment to Walden's positive social change mission. One of those organizations is the Community Building Committee, or CBC, which is an interdepartmental organization that builds community and promotes positive social change. Another one is the Academic Advisory Council, or AAAC, and this organization works with peers and leadership to promote positive change in the advising department. In the fall of 2018, I was nominated to be a positive leadership agent, and I'm also a Project Happiness ambassador. So a little over a year ago, the Community Building Committee in Minneapolis recognized that self-care was an area of opportunity for the office. And in August of 2018, the CBC Minneapolis hosted the first self-care month, and that's where Sarah and I were first able to present on the importance of mindfulness and self-care. And we got lots of really positive feedback, and so we decided to actually launch a self-care committee through the Academic Advisory Council as well. And then we continued our efforts and shared our mindfulness presentation at the Positive Leadership Fair, where we also invited staff at the Minneapolis office to sign up for the Project Happiness Challenge, and then also the Project Happiness Circle, which was a book club. And those took place during the fall and winter of 2018 and 2019. And then in March 2019, we launched 15-minute self-care timeouts at the Minneapolis office for academic advisors. And since then, we've actually been able to offer those to some of the advisors at all locations. So one of our greatest sources of inspiration throughout this journey has been an organization called Project Happiness Global. And this organization Their mission is to empower people with the resources to create greater happiness within themselves and the world. And they believe in something called the science of happiness, which is that scientific research has turned its focus on how happiness can be sustained and even increased. Research has confirmed that through intentional practices, we can actually change the neural pathways of our brain to become happier. In fact, only 10% of our happiness is due to our external circumstances, and a full 90% is based on our inner environment.
One of the activities that we hosted through both the Community Building Committee and the Positive Leadership was a Project Happiness Circle. And a Happiness Circle is a book club where members meet to discuss a book chapter by chapter. What's really nice is that Project Happiness provides all of the discussion questions and the resources to support the Happiness Circle. The book that we chose was The Happiness Track: How to Apply the Science of Happiness to Accelerate Your Success. This is written by Dr. Emma Sepla, who is the science director of Sanford Center for Compassion and Altruism Research and Education. Reading this book really inspired us, and it actually became the inspiration and our guide for many of the self-care activities that we created through these various different committees, including the self-care timeouts. In this book, Dr. Sepla uses scientific research on happiness to examine 6 commonly held beliefs that we have about success and how these beliefs actually can lead us to be less successful than we could be. She also counters that by using scientific research of happiness to provide us with 6 keys to happiness and success that we can use to be more happy and successful in our lives. And we're going to take a little bit of time to go through those 6 beliefs and also 6 keys to happiness right now. So what is it that gets in the way of our success? Dr. Sepla identified that the first thing is the belief of chasing the future. And this is basically the belief that if you want to succeed, you need to be continually getting things done and moving on to the next goal. This is basically always focusing on your next task instead of putting your full attention into your current task. An example of this could be that while you're writing an email, you're already thinking about that other email that's in your inbox and how you're going to write that. Always focusing on that next task and not your current task can decrease your work performance. It's linked to lower physiological and psychological health, and it counterintuitively damages your productivity and performance. Basically, chasing the future keeps you from living in the moment, and living in the moment can make you more productive and happier. The next thing that she identified was what she calls overdrive, and that is equating stress with success. And this is that it's the belief that to succeed, we must be constantly doing and living in overdrive. Basically, what this means is if I don't feel stressed, then that means I'm not doing enough. This is a very common belief that many of us have, and we do live in a culture that idealizes professions that have high pressure jobs. You can think about all of the television shows and books that feature characters that have high pressure jobs that we see all the time in the media. And it's true that small doses of stress can help us in achieving short-term goals, but chronic stress can keep us from being as successful as we could be. Chronic stress makes us more prone to illness and inflammation. It impairs our cognitive abilities, and it impacts our creativity and our decision-making and problem-solving skills. The next thing that Dr. Sepla identifies is using up all of your energy by staying in high-intensity mode. And with high-intensity mode, basically she identifies this as either high-intensity emotions, so very strong either positive or negative emotions, and high-intensity negative thoughts, such as worrying. These high-intensity emotions and thoughts can be physically and mentally exhausting. And when we have less energy, It's a lot harder for us to exercise self-control and make decisions that'll help us in the long term versus the short term. And on top of that, using self-control also uses more of our energy as well. Um, Staying in this high intensity mode can result in burnout, and burnout looks like becoming cynical or critical at work, dragging yourself to work and having a hard time motivating yourself while there, becoming irritable or impatient with colleagues and clients, lacking the energy needed to be productive, lacking satisfaction when you achieve something, and feeling disillusioned about your work. And it's true that there are a lot of factors that do lead to burnout, but a lot of these other factors we can't control when we can control our energy levels. Dr. Sepala also identified not allowing a balance of focused time and rest and idleness as another thing that can get in our way of success. And this one is definitely counterintuitive. So this is the belief that always being on is good and that any time off that you have is bad and unproductive. So an example of this is maybe on the weekend you have a long list of errands that you need to do, but if you take time and maybe read a book, you're feeling guilty about that time that you've taken for yourself. And not having time to concentrate and engage in a broad array of activities, or having that time to not concentrate and to engage in a broad array of activities actually allows us space for thinking inventively and creatively. It allows us to make connections between things that can creatively solve problems. Harsh self-criticism also gets in the way of our success. It hurts our performance, it makes us give up, and it also can lead to poor decision making. And then finally, focusing on your own success versus the success of others. It's true that self-interested approaches can get results in the short term, but in the long term, they do fail you. They create blind spots, not giving you a clear view of your own ability. They can ruin your relationships, and they also damage your health. So the other side of this, so this is what gets in the way of our success. Basically on the opposite end of this, what she's identified as the 6 keys of happiness. The first one is to live and work in the moment. Living in the present moment, it makes us happier and more productive. When we are completely in tune with what we're doing, we fully enjoy that activity. It helps us be more productive because we're completely focused on what we're working on, and increase our empathy, listening skills, eye contact, enthusiasm, self-confidence, and skillful speaking when we're fully present in a conversation with someone else. The second key to success is to tap into your natural resiliency and to slow down. So resilience is the ability to bounce back quickly from stressful situations. We're all born with some natural resiliency that is innate, so trying to find ways that tap into that resiliency can also help us be more successful. Dr. Sepala also says that another key is to manage your energy by being calm. When we create an atmosphere of calm, it allows us to preserve our energy, exercise better self-control, and help us reduce negative emotions. The next one is simply to do nothing. And of course, we're not saying to do nothing all the time, but having that scheduled time for downtime can lead to increased creativity and time for innovative thinking and for fun. The next key to success is to be good to yourself. Being good to yourself helps you persist in the face of obstacles. It creates a great psychological well-being, better health, improved professional interpersonal skills, stronger motivation and greater perspective, and reduced tendency to be overwhelmed in times of struggle. And finally, the last key to success is to show compassion to others. It increases your status and trustworthiness, inspires loyalty and engagement, and it's also very good for your health. So thinking about these 6 things, I think what was so powerful about this book is that over and over again, a way to tap into each one of these keys to success is mindfulness and meditation. And that is because mindfulness and meditation can help us cultivate that sense of calm and quiet in our mind. It helps us be more present in the moment. It helps us also tap into our built-in resiliency. It helps us preserve our energy, it improves our self-control and reduces negative thoughts and feelings. It gives us that time for stillness and silence, which can boost our creativity. It can increase our compassion by noticing and challenging self-talk, and it also can increase compassion to others. And that was what was so amazing about the book, was just how powerful mindfulness and meditation can be in your self-care routine.
So today, we wanted to take some time to give everyone an example of one of our self-care timeouts. And so every week, we do something different. So one week it's a walk, one week it's a yoga and stretching exercise, one week it's an educational opportunity, and then one week, it's a guided meditation, which is available to all advisors. And so we would like you to sit back, relax, close your eyes, and enjoy this guided meditation. Today's mindful moment is called a body scan. You will learn how to do mindful breathing and how that can relax you and make you calmer. We're going to scan around the whole body and go through it like a spotlight, section by section, so you will know how to be mindful of your whole body. Please get into your mindful bodies. First, feel yourself on your chair. Feel your feet on the floor, your toes, your heels. Are they heavy or light? Feel your seat on the chair, your back leaning on the back of the chair. Where your body is touching the chair or floor, is it soft or hard? Let's soften those edges. Bring your hands together and rest them in your lap. Notice how your hands feel. Are they heavy or light, warm or cool? Notice these things about every part of the body we put our flashlight of attention on. Starting with your feet. What about your knees, your legs? Put your attention on your belly. Breathe in and feel it fill up with air. Then breathe out the air. With your hands clasped in your lap, put your spotlight of attention on your fingertips. Then your elbows, your shoulders, your back, your neck. Put your spotlight of attention on your face, your mouth, your eyes, your ears, the top of your head. Take a few deep, calming, cleansing breaths. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So take some time to think about how you feel after the guided meditation. What is one thing you noticed? Is there one part of your body that you wanted your flashlight of attention to stay on longer? Did it make you feel more relaxed? And then one resource that I just wanted to point out to everybody is an app called Insight Timer. It's free and it actually gives you access to hundreds of guided meditations and other mindfulness resources so that you can find a meditation or, a mindfulness resource that fits into your life. And then we're just going to give everyone some time to think about their own self-care action plan. And so what are you currently doing to practice self-care? What obstacles do you experience to practicing daily self-care? What resources and support systems can you incorporate into your self-care plan? And then what is your plan to incorporate self-care into your life daily, even if it is for as little as 15 minutes?
One of the things that we'll encourage you to do too is to actually take some time to write it out and to schedule it into your schedule. So think about where can you fit in 15 minutes into your schedule. And if you have it in front of you right now, take the time to put that in there at this and what you're planning to do for self-care in that time.
And then as a reminder, in honor of Walden's mission for positive social change, we just, like I said, we want to remind everyone that taking care of yourself is the most powerful way to begin to take care of others. And thank you so much to everyone who took the time to listen to our presentation. And in closing, we just want to finish with one of our favorite quotes, and that is, the most important relationship in your life is the relationship you have with yourself, because no matter what happens, you will always be with yourself.